the election riggings in Nigeria. You know one thing, we merely scratching the surface as far as the election rigging process is concerned in Nigeria. It is the executive arm of government that rigs election, not all these appointed officials. For instance, what would Professor Mahmoud Yakubu have done to stop Tinubu on his own, without the connivance of those in the hierarchy of government, like the...
Did you not hear what Dr. Kach said here once upon a time, that it was actually the CPC wing of the APC that helped Tinubu rig the election because they were the ones in power at the time?
Yes, they were. So it is not a question of blaming Yakubu. Yakubu came to Chatham House in London. He came to us here and addressed us and said, oh, it was going to be the purest election. The man probably had good intentions. But when these power brokers are there, the executive arm of government, we don't. That's why I have been clamoring for the reformation of INEC. If we don't reform that body, no matter, we can't go and bring an angel to supervise over that electoral body. They will still be corrupted. Because this executive arm of government throws money around. They give these people millions. Let me tell you a secret. There was a resident commissioner. I won't name the state now because people will know the man. The man told me that he was offered 40 million naira by a governor, a sitting governor, to rig his second term. 40 million. Can you imagine that? And he even told him, I will build a house and give you the keys. You are here now, the resident electoral commission. I will do this in 6 months. A governor. And you understand me? Yeah, the INEC of a resident electoral officer turned down that offer. So there are still...
But he will still win the election.
Yeah, he still did. But it came above him from the federal mind. That's what I'm telling you. The executive at the federal level rigged that election for that governor. You understand me? Now there is another national, resident electoral commissioner. He served in Akwa Ibom, he served in Cross River, served in Edo. You know, at a point in time, he became the arrowhead of the campaign for these beavers and everything. He was on channels. He is from my state, but I have forgotten his name now. A barrister, one of these radical. He was an resident electoral commissioner. I've forgotten his name now. Oh dear. You know, when his term expired, came to an end, I think it was last year or so, or there, but he was not retained. Tinubu did not retain the man. He was one of the three recommended to be dropped because they just saw him as too radical. He would cave into any sort of financial inducement or anything. You know, he was the one who jailed a professor in one professor at University of Uyo. He was the one who rigged
the one who rigged for Akpabio.
Who rigged the election for Akpabio. One professor, I've forgotten his name now. I'm trying to remember the name of this resident electoral, a very popular man.
I remember his name. I remember the.
You remember the man I'm talking about? Yes, we have some of them. He couldn't be corrupted. That was why they did not renew his tenure. Go and ask him. If you look, I'm trying to remember the name. Maybe the name just went off my memory now. You know.
To also recall.
Yeah, barrister. I've forgotten his name now. A very radical. He was always on air then. You know, to outline the processes. You know, he even named it these beavers and the rest was the game changer. He was always on channels, on Arise. He would come and then educate Nigerians. You know. I'm just a big fan of that man, but I don't know where he has just disappeared. These are the way good Nigerians are frustrated. You understand me? So when we keep blaming some of these resident electoral, it's the executives. They are the ones. They send their PAs, commissioners, and the rest to lobby these resident commissioners. That is apart from those who are card-carrying members of the ruling party. There are some card-carrying members. They are all card-carrying members now. They are all there. But there are some of them that still want to follow the due process. You understand me? There is one thing, the only thing I observed about Buhari during his lifetime was, if you observe that man very well, all off-cycle elections that were held during his tenure, he didn't influence any of the election results. He didn't. Apart from Mike Igini, Barrister Mike Igini, God bless you, precious. God bless you.
Somebody else has
Mike Igini, that is the person I'm talking about. You know, during Buhari's time, it was only the 2019 election that Buhari rigged. because he was involved personally. All the other elections, off-cycle elections, he didn't rig any one of them. He told them, go and campaign, go and talk to the people. If they give you the other,
why didn't you agree to be a beneficiary of rigging? Why?
Oh, he rigged it himself. Buhari rigged 20. Yeah, well, that is best. He's dead now, so nobody can talk for it. But he rigged 2019 elections because Atiku actually won that election. But Buhari rigged it and the APC, and then he retained his presidency. So if you look at the circle we are talking about, reformation of INEC, the process or processes by which these resident electoral commissioners are nominated and appointed, we have to revisit it seriously. Otherwise, we will be shouting and making noise and talking. Tinubu, who is a master rigger, in addition to Wike there. These are the two biggest election riggers in Nigeria, Tinubu and Wike. These two people, hand in gloves, they will see, the two of them will rig the entire election cycle in 2027. You can take my word to the bank. I'm very, very serious. Wike is the biggest rigger of election in Nigeria. Wike, FCT minister, followed by Tinubu. You know, when I always say Tinubu is the current governor of Lagos State, some of my friends, they will be bewildered and be asking why. But it's Sanwo-Olu that, who is Sanwo-Olu? Sanwo-Olu is just a puppet. He's just a pupil, You know when headmaster call a child and the child is quivering when it comes to the front. That's what Sanwo-Olu and those people are to Tinubu now. Tinubu appoints people in Lagos as governors. He takes them off. So we shouldn't be counting Lagos as being a gubernatorial seat to be contested. No, let's forget about those ones. When I always say we aren't practicing democracy in Nigeria, these are some of the things I hold on to strongly. We aren't practicing democracy like what Dr. Nnaji said yesterday. Until we come back, we revisit the bedrocks. We go nowhere with our electoral setup. What is Nnaji guilty of that Tinubu is not guilty of? So when you look at it, it's just like when the man resigned, wrote a letter and resigned. Has Tinubu resigned? So if Tinubu resigns, then I will know, yes, the ultimate. Then I'll keep giving maybe kudos to those Nigerians, patriotic Nigerians, who have been shouting over the rooftops about Tinubu's activity.
Why do you expect the president to resign?
No, Tinubu, if Tinubu has conscience, he would have not even contested the presidential election, let alone being our president.
I don't understand.
If he had conscience.
Why do they talk like that?
But Precious, look, I don't want to talk about Tinubu. Let me not talk about Tinubu. He's there as the president. That is the toga we carry as Nigerians. They see you are carrying a Nigerian passport. Unfortunately for me, I don't carry one. They say, you're Nigerian. Yeah, oh, you're president. That is what they say to us. Yeah, abroad, everywhere we go. You travel to any mainland Europe now. Go to Germany, go to Italy. Oh, Tinubu. Oh, we know. Is it that drug man? They will just tell you. They will tell it to your face. And you are ashamed.
You hear what's in the first lady talk, say people don't they want to associate with Nigeria. People they like us now. Everybody wants to Nigeria now.
Oh, Precious.
Before. It just a comment,
Precious. You do not, those of us who are abroad. Those of us who are abroad, we know the shame we carry. When we talk about our leaders, or when people talk about our leaders to us, we know the shame we carry. So we know what we bear, the burden we carry, but we don't go about that. If only, despite carrying those shame and burden, these people give us good governance, then we will be fighting and saying, well, it could be this and that, but look at what he's doing. He's delivering the dividends of democracy. How can I go and defend somebody like the governor of Edo State? I'm not from Edo State, but I grew up in Benin. But should that one have been the governor of that state? But he's there. Who rigged him to be there? He's Wike and Tinubu. You remember Tinubu once said, I will deliver Edo State. And he did. He sent Wike's cousin or whatever.
That may just be political statements now.
No, Precious. What happened in the blend will see what happened. They saw what happened in Edo State. That election in Edo State is one of the biggest grudges I have against Tinubu. Because if, like, say, Jonathan and Buhari, he had told them, go and contest the election. It was an off-cycle election. Let the best candidate, let the people's choice be made there. Let them select their governor. I won't even be talking about him too much. Although I know he is not the kind of person that you will call a befitting president. No, but then there are certain things somebody cannot completely just be bad in all aspects of life. This our current president, there is just nothing to write home about him. You understand me? So when you look at him, his antecedents, look at all the off-cycle elections. Look at the by-elections they held recently. Do you think somebody like Buhari would have participated, would have had time to go and be sending battalion of soldiers to Zamfara State to go and conduct by-election for House of Reps? Like what the Minister of State did, and Tinubu did not raise any eyebrows. No, nothing happened. So Tinubu's, I have always told you, Tinubu is never a Democrat. He isn't. I was never a Democrat. And when I said, I always make my mentioned comments about these people because of researches I've made about them. Wike, if Wike continues in this current setup, we should be forgetting about 2027 elections. No matter, even already now, Wike alone has single-handedly planted moles in all the opposition parties, including this ADC you are seeing there now. Most of them are just Wike's men and boys and everything. It's the Labour Party, forget about that. So what are the opposition going to do about 2027? When I even said it will take the big effort moving heaven and earth for the oppositions to coalesce, come together and give Tinubu a run for his money. But this time around, traitors, it's not going to happen. But what is happening in the current political terrain is what I have mentioned to you. I have said it before in the past. The North, they are planning seriously. They are the only ones that will take the political terrain. And the reason is that because Tinubu, according to Tinubu, has let them down. That is what they are. They want to, the arrangement, the gentleman arrangement we have will be truncated by these people if care is not taken.
Yeah. It's not but well, I strongly believe it. I'm not sure a Southerner can succeed Tinubu. If anybody has to,
that is what I mentioned it on several occasions on this your platform, and I'm saying it again today. They have this plan on ground. Not even Atiku. They don't want to use Atiku because they know Atiku will not give them the votes needed to say true, because they don't want to have a second ballot or second. They don't want to do that because they know the power, the incumbency power will come in. So they just want to have a smooth ride in the first ballot, and that they want to present a candidate. Now, I know I've told you you will get the fast when this thing starts to unravel. You will see that is the plan of the Northerners. But I am against it because we have the best in the South. And secondly, the gentleman's agreement to be honored. That is only the only reason why Nigeria should still be together. Otherwise, the North have had their fair share of leadership. So Tinubu shouldn't just serve 4 years and they kick him out. No. We know he shouldn't get a second term, but we want somebody else to succeed him from the South for the remainder of the 4 years that we have all gentlemanly agreed on. Not them coming taking or usurping the power from us in the South and say, okay, well, it's democracy. No, because when Buhari and others were there, we never challenged them. It was entirely a Northern affair. So in this case now, somebody like Atiku, who has been an all-round political presidential campaign candidate year in, year out. Yes, we know he's just playing games. But what is it that the Northerners have a very strong template, and that is my worry. That is the only thing. Not that Tinubu isn't going to do something that will make the incumbency factor work, but the Northerners are determined and they are planning seriously. That is the information the Nigerians, those of us from the South, must take note of.
All right, sir. All right.
In addition to, go ahead.
In addition to what?
In addition to Wike's factor.
Okay.
Wike.
All right, so, you don't talk and I say plant everybody everywhere. So, but yes. How you go talk corruption? No, they corruption still that our country they look us on kind. Yeah, within our first lady talk.
Just in the spirit of Mr. President, that his speech was different, calling on us and Nigerians, stop bad-mouthing your nation. Gone are the days when they say, oh, Nigeria is the most corrupt country. You won't hear that again. When people, even when I go abroad, when they hear you're from Nigeria, everybody's interested. They want to come to Nigeria. Nigeria is the next destination. We have to be proud. What we have to do is rise up and build. I'm 65 years old now. I pray I live long. But I'm working so hard so that when my husband finishes tenure in office, then me too, I can walk around safely. That is what drives me to do the work.
So, sir.
Precious, you can run these clips. It's very, very good. But tell Remi, Tinubu, or whatever her name is, to come to even the streets of London and talk about Nigeria. Do you know there was a case recently in London that has to do with a top Nigerian lawyer? I don't want to talk about that. You know, where the judge gave a scathing judgment, and the way he ridiculed us Nigerians, what he said about Nigerians, you will shed tears for you to be a Nigerian. That is on the judicial side, let alone Nigerians who are all over the place. Yeah. And then you come and say you are a Nigerian. Where did she get the, you know, these are people fed with lies. You know, they just, you know, these are PAs and all this one. They just write up all these things, feed them with lies and everything. Let Tinubu drive from Lagos to Ibadan without all those sirens and without those battalions, and then see what will happen. Why don't they travel on the roads or in Nigeria? They drive from Lagos to Benin, or then I think they fly their presidential jets all over the place. So for somebody, Nigeria in all ramifications, if we are not the most corrupt nation on earth, we are very, very close to it, maybe number 2 or 3. From all the indices, even from the so-called United Nations, IMF, all those people, they know. You know, tell me what is not corrupted by the Nigerian system. It's not only economic corruption. In every facet of our life, Nigeria is such a place that when you mention, I'm telling you, work colleagues and the rest. For instance, if you go to some banks now here in the UK, and they just see that you are a Nigerian and you are holding a green passport, they keep you aside. The way you'll be interrogated, I mean banks, so for you to even open a bank account, you are a Nigerian. Those that have come in, even legally, they have their legal. There was a friend I escorted to, you know, I had to vouch for this person before they just looked at him and said, Nigeria? Oh, no, look, you undergo extra scrutiny. You can ask other Nigerians in the diaspora, not that I'm just making up any stuff. You can ask those in the US, Canada, mainland Europe, UK, just ask them if I'm making up stuff. It is only those who are indirectly benefiting. Maybe they have cousins or one of persons in government. Do you think a Wike's cousin will say Nigeria is corrupt? He won't say that. Because Wike is there in FCT. For instance, you want to commission just one, you want to flag off construction of a road project, you go and hire canopy. Look at what the one he did today in Abuja. Do you know how much that would have cost that FCDA? Those canopies, rented crowd, those musicians, everything, just to flag off road construction. Maybe 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. You spend more than 40 million just for publicity. Meanwhile, the project, how much are you going to give to the, and you know the project, it could be 100 million. In the Nigerian corrupt system, they say it's 200. Everybody will get budget. Bank accounts will be flowing. A lot will be flowing. Then tell me, in the end, they will tell you we spent 500 million just to construct 2 kilometers of road. That was what Wike did in, sorry to say, Precious, your River State. Overhead bridge, overhead that was how Wike got stole River State dry, rigged all the elections there, everything. You know, so when the master rigger, who has the judiciary in his pocket, is there, hand in gloves with the chief executive, president of Nigeria, another schemer, another 419 man, another.
No, don't be saying this, I beg.
When you
about our leaders,
Precious, yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that, but that is the truth. Because when you say you are a Nigerian, yeah, that is the face you create before them. I'm telling you, I'm being honest. Like what I've always told you, Nigeria gave me the best at my age. Those in my age bracket, those who are 55 up to and above in Nigeria gave all of us the best. And that is why you always see me, I'm always hammering on the fact that If those in the level of governance in Nigeria now aren't giving the best to generation yet or born, even current generations, like those Gen Z that we are all proud of, if they don't give them the best, I always pray that heaven will not forgive them. Because what Nigeria gave them, if they are not giving same or close to it to generations that are upcoming, where you see 13, 12-year-old children now going to join courts to become millionaires, where, like what I said the other time, where a girl could be carrying the head of a beheaded human being in a paper bag, and then 15-year-old girl, 15, who should be in school, secondary school, learning. And so you see how the society has deteriorated in Nigeria to the level that everybody wants to become a millionaire overnight. And it's because of the example, the bad examples that those in at the helm of affairs have given them. You know, nobody, because they say you go to school for what? Nnaji just resigned now because he was cut out. There are so many of them there who are just in the National Assembly, State Assembly. They are all fakers. They forge certificate. They print them. Look, precious.